Edison. Hammer was a pioneer of incandescent electric lighting. 33. Frank J. Sprague, a competent mathematician and former naval officer, was recruited by Edward H. Johnson and joined the Edison organization in 1883. One of Sprague's contributions to the Edison laboratory at Menlo Park was to expand Edison's mathematical methods. Despite the common belief that Edison did not use mathematics, analysis of his notebooks revealed that he was an astute user of mathematical analysis conducted by his assistants such as Francis Robbins Upton, for example, determining critical parameters of his electric lighting system including lamp resistance by an analysis of Ohm's law, Joule's law and economics. 34. Edison's Menlo Park Lab. 1880. Nearly all of Edison's patents were utility patents, which were protected for 17 years and included inventions or processes that are electrical, mechanical, or chemical in nature. About a dozen were design patents, which protect an ornamental design for up to 14 years. As in most patents, the inventions he described were improvements over prior art. The phonograph patent, in contrast, was unprecedented in describing the first device to record and reproduce sounds. 35. In just over a decade, Edison's Menlo Park laboratory had expanded to occupy 2 city blocks. Edison said he wanted his lab to have a stock of almost every conceivable material. 36. A newspaper article printed in 1887 reveals the seriousness of his claim, stating the lab contained 8,000 kinds of chemicals, every kind of schoolmade, every size of needle, every kind of cord or wire, hair of humans, horses, hogs, cows, rabbits, goats, minks, camels, silk in every texture, cocoons, various kinds of hoofs, shark's teeth, deer horns, tortoise shell, cork, resin, varnish and oil, ostrich feathers, a peacock's tail, jet, amber, rubber, or oars. And the list goes on. 37. Over his desk Edison displayed a placard with Sir Joshua Reynolds' famous quotation, "There is no expedient to which a man will not resort to avoid the real labor of thinking." 38. This slogan was reputedly posted at several other locations throughout the facility. In Menlo Park, Edison had created the first industrial laboratory concerned with creating knowledge and then controlling its application. 39. Edison's name is registered on 1093 patents. 40. Phonograph. Photograph of Edison with this phonograph, second model, taken in Matthew Brady S. Washington, D.C. studio in April 1878. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Thomas Edison reciting Mary Had a Little Lamb in 1929. Problems playing this file. See media help. Edison began his career as an inventor in Newark, New Jersey, with the automatic repeater and his other improved telegraphic devices. But the invention that first gained him wider notice was the phonograph in 1877. 41. This accomplishment was so unexpected by the public at large as to appear almost magical. Edison became known as the Wizard of Menlo Park. 5. His first phonograph recorded on tinfoil around a grooved cylinder. Despite its limited sound quality and that the recordings could be played only a few times, the phonograph made Edison a celebrity. Joseph Henry, president of the National Academy of Sciences and one of the most renowned electrical scientists in the U.S., described Edison as the most ingenious inventor in this country, or in any other. 42. In April 1878, Edison traveled to Washington to demonstrate the phonograph before the National Academy of Sciences, congressmen, senators and U.S. President Hayes. 43. The Washington Post described Edison as a genius and his presentation as a scene that will live in history. 44. Although Edison obtained a patent for the phonograph in 1878, 45, he did little to develop it until Alexander Graham Bell, Chichester Bell, and Charles Tainter produced a phonograph-like device in the 1880s that used wax-coated cardboard cylinders. Carbon telephone transmitter. In 1876, Edison began work to improve the microphone for telephones, at that time called a transmitter, by developing a carbon microphone, which consists of two metal plates separated by granules of carbon that would change resistance with the pressure of sound waves. A steady direct current is passed between the plates through the granules, and the varying resistance results in a modulation of the current, creating a varying electric current that reproduces the varying pressure of the sound wave. Up to that point, microphones, such as the ones developed by Johann Philipp Reis and Alexander Graham Bell, worked by generating a weak current. The carbon microphone works by modulating a direct current and, subsequently, using a transformer to transfer the signal so generated to the telephone line. Edison was one of many inventors working on the problem of creating a usable microphone for telephony by having it modulate an electric current passed through it. 46. His work was concurrent with Emil Berliner's loose contact carbon transmitter, who lost a later patent case against Edison over the carbon transmitter's invention. 47. And David Edward Hughes' study and published paper on the physics of loose contact carbon transmitters, work that Hughes did not bother to patent. 46. 48. Edison used the carbon microphone concept in 1877 to create an improved telephone for Western Union. 47. In 1886, Edison found a way to improve a Bell telephone microphone, one that used loose contact ground carbon, with his discovery that it worked far better if the carbon was roasted. This type was put in use in 1890, 47, and was used in all telephones along with the Bell receiver until the 1980s. Electric light. Thomas Edison's first successful model of light bulb, used in public demonstration at Menlo Park, December 1879. In 1878, Edison began working on a system of electrical illumination, something he hoped could compete with gas and oil-based lighting. 49. Heavier than by tackling the problem of creating a long-lasting incandescent lamp, something that would be needed for indoor use. However, Thomas Edison did not invent the light bulb. 50. In 1840, British scientist Warren de la Rue developed an efficient light bulb using a coiled platinum filament, but the high cost of platinum kept the bulb from becoming a commercial success. 51. Many other inventors had also devised incandescent lamps, including Alessandro Volta's demonstration of a glowing wire in 1800 and inventions by Henry Woodward and Matthew Evans. Others who developed early and commercially impractical incandescent electric lamps included Humphrey Davy, James Bowman Lindsay, Moses G. Farmer, 52, William E. Sawyer, Joseph Swan, and Heinrich Goebel. These early bulbs all had flaws such as an extremely short life and requiring a high electric current to operate, which made them difficult to apply on a large scale commercially. 53. 217 218 In his first attempts to solve these problems, Edison tried using a filament made of cardboard carbonized with compressed lamp black. This burnt out too quickly to provide lasting light. He then experimented with different grasses and cane such as hemp and palmetto, before settling on bamboo as the best filament. 54. Edison continued trying to improve this design, and on the 4th of November, 1879, filed for U.S. Patent 223,898, granted on the 27th of January, 1880, for an electric lamp using a carbon filament or strip coiled and connected to platina contact wires. 55. The patent described several ways of creating the carbon filament, including cotton and linen thread, wood splints, papers coiled in various ways. 55. It was not until several months after the patent was granted that Edison and his team discovered that a carbonized bamboo filament could last over 1,200 hours. 56. In 1878, Edison formed the Edison Electric Light Company in New York City with several financiers including J.P. Morgan, Spencer Trask, 57, and the members of the Vanderbilt family. Edison made the first public demonstration of his incandescent light bulb on the 31st of December, 1879, in Menlo Park. It was during this time that he said, "We will make electricity so cheap that only the rich will burn candles." 58. U.S. Patent #2238898 electric lamp, issued January 27, 1880. The Oregon Railroad and Navigation Company's new steamship, the Columbia, was the first commercial application for Edison's incandescent light bulb in 1880. Henry Villard, president of the Oregon Railroad and Navigation Company, attended Edison's 1879 demonstration. Villard was impressed and requested Edison install his electric lighting system aboard Villard's company's new steamer, the Columbia. Although hesitant at first, Edison agreed to Villard's request. Most of the work was completed in May 1880, and Columbia went to New York City, where Edison and his personnel installed Columbia's new lighting system. The Columbia was Edison's first commercial application for his incandescent light bulb. The Edison equipment was removed from Columbia in 1895. 59, 60, 61, 62. In 1880, Louis Latimer, a draftsman and an expert witness in patent litigation, began working for the United States Electric Lighting Company run by Edison's rival Hiram S. Maxim. 63. While working for Maxim, Latimer invented a process for making carbon filaments for light bulbs and helped install broad-scale lighting systems for New York City, Philadelphia, Montreal, and London. Latimer holds the patent for the electric lamp issued in 1881, and a second patent for the process of manufacturing carbons, the filament used in incandescent light bulbs, issued in 1882. On the 8th of October, 1883, the U.S. Patent Office ruled that Edison's patent was based on the work of William E. Sawyer and was, therefore, invalid. Litigation continued for nearly 6 years. In 1885, Latimer switched camps and started working with Edison. 64. On the 6th of October, 1889, a judge ruled that Edison's electric light improvement claim for a filament of carbon of high resistance was valid. 65. To avoid a possible court battle with yet another competitor, Joseph Swan, who held an 1880 British patent on a similar incandescent electric lamp, 66. He and Swan formed a joint company called Edison to manufacture and market the invention in Britain. The incandescent light bulb patented by Edison also began to gain widespread popularity in Europe as well. Mayan Theatre in Brno, in what is now the Czech Republic, opened in 1882, and was the first public building in the world to use Edison's electric lamps. Francis Gell, Edison's assistant in the invention of the lamp, supervised the installation. 67. In September 2010, a sculpture of 3 giant light bulbs was erected in Brno, in front of the theatre. 68. The first Edison light bulbs in the Nordic countries were installed at the weaving hall of the Finlaysons textile factory in Tampere, Finland in March 1882. 69. In 1901, Edison attended the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York. His company, the Edison Manufacturing Company, was given the task of installing the electric lights on the various buildings and structures that were built for the exposition. At night, Edison made a panorama photograph of the illuminated buildings. 70. Electric power distribution. After devising a commercially viable electric light bulb on the 21st of October, 1879, Edison developed an electric utility to compete with the existing gaslight utilities. 71. On the 17th of December, 1880, he founded the Edison Illuminating Company, and during the 1880s, he patented a system for electricity distribution. The company established the first investor-owned electric utility. On the 4th of September, 1882, in Pearl Street, New York City, his 600 kilowatts cogeneration steam-powered generating station, Pearl Street Stations, electrical power distribution